Hey, what's up? It's your girl Terry D, editor-in-chief and relationship coach and blogger with Love Chapters. So today I'm going to try to make it quick, but I'm trying to answer a message from one of my Love Chapters subscribers, and she has been kind of battling back and forth with her daughter, trying to figure out if she has a responsibility to her daughter as a single dating parent, and how far she should go when she's dating, whether it means bringing someone around her daughter, or if she feels like, I'm grown, I can do what I want, I should not allow my daughter to dictate my life. So I just want to kind of address a few issues here. First of all, we do have a responsibility to our children. They didn't ask to be here, and we have to make sure that we're setting the right examples, because if your child has some issues, sometimes it's just, some overprotectiveness because they're used to it just being you and I can attest to that with my daughter and myself. My son's grown, but as I look at a few, pick out a few details of this story, sometimes children are more in tune with what's going on, and we can't see the forest, or can't see the forest for the trees, because we're so in love. Sometimes you've been alone so long, so you want someone so bad, you think you're doing a service to your child as opposed to a disservice, because you're now creating a family unit for them. You have to be very careful in that, because sometimes there'll be men, and I'm not saying all men, so don't go bashing me, but let's just keep it real, keep it 100. There will be men that will play up to your children to get to you. You have to think about all kind of things. And if we're going to attack real issues that are going on, we have to think about men that have molested our children, boys or girls. We have to think about the influence they can have on their lives, and sometimes our very own influence. So if we're making bad choices when it comes to men, ladies, that means that we in turn have to think about the choices that our children will make, because that is real. And if you're not paying attention to your choices because you're so caught up in being in love, but your children or your child is bringing it to your attention, then something can, really kind of trigger their actions, or even rebellious actions to get your attention. So we are responsible for our children. You were given the task of being their parent. And so that means if you're going to date and you're not sure where it's going, don't bring that person around. But you definitely have a responsibility to your child. And I just don't like when people start saying, I'm grown, they can't tell me what to do. No, they can't tell you what to do, but guess what? They definitely should have a stake in some of the decision. Just kind of let them know what's going on. It's about open communication, talking to them, letting them know, especially if they're old enough, and even when they're growing up, start to plant the seeds, start to feed into them, pour into them good dating habits. And you yourself have to make good decisions. It's all the way from the way you dress, to the way you talk, to the company you keep. And they pay attention. Our children mimic our actions. So if you have boys, you don't want to be the one that you're dating so much. And now sometimes I think we feel a little bit more comfortable leaving boys at home than we do girls. And guess what? If that becomes a habit, then they could be sneaking girls into the home, making bad decisions because they like, mama did it, I can do it too. Your young ladies, you don't want them to start being promiscuous because they see mama doing it. You want to pull your skirts down a little. We have a responsibility to our children. God entrusted us with them. He trusted us enough. He gave us that gift. Children are a blessing from God. So why would you mess up that gift all because you're selfish, all because you want to get you some, all because you want to feel whole, because you have not learned to do that on your own. So now you're looking for somebody else to do it. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the case. But again, I will not stop repeating, you have a responsibility to your children. So if they are expressing some concern, then you need to sit down and have that conversation with them. Because what you don't want to do is say, as our children pay for our sins. So don't pass down generational curses. Let it go. You know what? Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice and say, right now, it's not about me. It's about them. You have to get them to a place that they're comfortable. Get them to a place where they are productive adults, productive citizens, because we pour all these bad, plant these bad seeds into our children, and then we release them onto society and expect for them to be okay with that. No, it's your responsibility. You have a responsibility to your children to make sure that you are planting the seed, that you are nurturing the gift that God has entrusted you with. Because guess what? Not only will they suffer, but you will, because now you have to be there for the fallout. Nothing will be perfect with them, but guess what? They're looking to you for the example. They're looking for you to be the good mother, because at the end of the day, we are what they have. We have their mom and we have their dad. Even if they're in two different homes, they still have that. So that means you are responsible. If your daughter is expressing some concern, if your son is expressing some concern, you need to have that open dialogue with them. Talk about sex. Talk about molestation. Talk about rape. Talk about dating, because everyone is not going to be abstinent. You may want to plant that seed, let them know that they need to value themselves. But guess what? You have to show that you value you, and that you have enough stake in them and value in them, that you want to set the example that they will follow. Now, they will not get it right, but that does not mean that you do all the wrong things so they don't get it right. You have a responsibility to your children. And I learned from my oldest sister about making the sacrifice of dating, the sacrifice. And you know what? You can do it on the low. You can do whatever you want to do, but you don't flaunt and parade your irresponsibility in front of your children, because they are watching. And they will, I promise you, repeat to you, you did it. Why can't I do it? So your responsibility is not to drink with your children. I don't care. I didn't do that. I didn't get down like that with my parents. Your responsibility is not to act like you're their BFF, because you are not. I always tell my kids, I ain't looking for a friend. You need a mama. My son grown, but guess what? Some of his problems require Terry the mom, not Terry your homegirl, because I'm not your homegirl. Get over it. Not gonna happen. My daughter and I, people always say she just like you. You guys are really close. But guess what? I'll come for you, little girl. Because it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm there for you. I have made some grave mistakes, but guess what? I learned from them. And I try to get other people to learn. Don't make those mistakes where you are not being responsible to your child, because that's where it hurts the most. That's where it hits us right here, and it hurts. So that means that you are responsible for your child. You are responsible for your actions that may be a domino effect that will have them now acting out your very same actions. It's frustrating for them. They can't handle that. If we as adults can't handle the emotional baggage, the strongholds that come with all of this that life throws at us, that love throws at us, what makes you think they can handle it? It's your job to do it. And it doesn't always stop at 18. But right now, if you have adolescents, if you have teenagers, you have got to usher them into a young adult life that will teach them to be responsible adults. And now you have broken generational curses, and they are now passing this down. Just because it was taught to you, just because it was something you saw, does not mean it's something you continue. That should be your lesson and your reason to not want it to continue, because you know how it emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically affected you. So you stop it now, you cut it off, and you begin the healing with you and your children, and allow them to continue this healthy cycle. So I hope this has helped the inbox that I got from one of my Love Chapters subscribers, as well as you. If you want to continue to hear more videos, usually it's not a rant like this, but I get really emotional when it comes to children, because sometimes we drop the ball with our children and then we want to blame society and everyone else. But thank you so much for tuning in. Again, it's your girl Terry D. And if you, like I said, if you want to continue, then follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/love chapters, or subscribe to my website and you will get a free 30-minute coaching, www.lovechapters.net. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope you're having an absolutely amazing and blessed holiday season. Enjoy your day in this beautiful weather in Chicago. Bye-bye.